The rise of Arsenal. If you're a football fan, then you must have heard of the legendary football club. Unquestionably one of the most famous football clubs in history. Their illustrious past is the foundation of their magnificent heritage, which is made up of victories, legendary players, and a dedication to an alluring kind of play. Since its foundation in 1886, Arsenal has amassed a dazzling collection of League and FA Cup championships. Arsène Wenger and the club's renowned Invincibles of the 2003 to 2004 season achieved an amazing accomplishment by going the whole Premier League season undefeated. Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and Tony Adams, among others, have graced the revered Arsenal pitch, making a lasting impression on the game. Arsenal's devoted following in London and across the world adds to their legendary reputation. Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel, where we dive into the world of football, and today we're going to be exploring the one and only Arsenal Football Club. Yes, you heard that. From the very beginning of the clubs, its highs and lows, how it progressed to one of the best teams in the world, we'll tell you all of it, so stay tuned till the end of the video so you don't miss out on anything. But before we go into the video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on bell notification to be notified whenever we post new videos. Did you do it? Well, let's get right into it. With beginnings going back to 1886, Arsenal Football Club has a history that is as varied and deep as the sport itself. The club's first members were a group of munitions workers from Woolwich, South London's Royal Arsenal, who gave it the name Dial Square. These early years were marked by a passionate love for the game and amateur zeal. Football back then was far different from the polished, elite spectacle it is now. It was more of a regional activity that was frequently played on shabby, improvised fields. The club had various name changes as the years passed. Before finally taking on the name Woolwich Arsenal in 1893, it temporarily went under the name Royal Arsenal. The club's affiliation with the Royal Arsenal and its location in the South London neighbourhood of Woolwich were both reflected in this alteration. However, this decision was not final. Arsenal encountered a significant turning point in its history in 1913. The club was forced to make the monumental choice to leave its Woolwich home and go to a new location due to financial difficulties and a lack of local support. Highbury, in North London, was the preferred option. This decision was a turning point for the club, since it allowed it to break its links with its birthplace and enter the territory that would soon set on to become its new spiritual home for the years to come. Highbury quickly became associated with the Arsenal Football Club, thanks to its iconic Art Deco East and West stands. It served as the setting for innumerable triumphant and heartbreaking moments as successive generations of players, coaches, and spectators engraved their memories into the structure of the stadium. Arsenal's famed clock end, where the minutes of tense matches were counted down by the clock, and the North Bank, which echoed with fervent applause and chants, became enduring icons of the club's identity. Financial difficulties in the years following World War I hindered Arsenal's future possibilities, but when Sir Henry Norris was named club chairman, the club saw an abrupt shift under new leadership. Norris started making adjustments to rejuvenate Arsenal and re-establish its competitiveness. Arsenal made a choice in 1925 that would shape their history. They chose Herbert Chapman to oversee the team as manager, and it was under his inspirational guidance that Arsenal began its transformation. Chapman was a pioneer in football and a brilliant strategist. One of his most significant contributions was the invention of the WM formation, which revolutionized the game of football. The WM system, which at the time emphasized a flexible midfield and offense in addition to a strong defensive structure with wingbacks, was groundbreaking. This shape allows for fluent offensive play in addition to offering a solid defensive basis. It paved the way for the current football formations and tactics that are employed. Arsenal achieved amazing on-field success when Chapman was their coach. During his leadership, the team won its first significant trophies, the FA Cup in 1930 and the First Division Championship in 1931. These victories marked the beginning of a new era for Arsenal, who were now a major player in English football. The effect of Chapman went beyond strategy. In the transfer market, he was savvy, bringing in players who would be crucial to the team's success. Alex James and Cliff Bastin were notable additions who were crucial to Arsenal's triumphs. Although Herbert Chapman's sudden passing in 1934 was a great loss, his impact lived on under later managers. The accomplishments of Arsenal in the 1930s and the first few years of the 1940s cemented the club's status as a footballing powerhouse and laid the groundwork for future success. The development of football as a whole, as well as Arsenal's illustrious past, are both heavily influenced by Chapman's inventions and efforts. The incredible trip that Arsenal took in the 1930s and the first few years of the 1940s cemented the club's position as a dominant force in English football. Their accomplishments at this time, such as the fact that they were the first team to win the league championship with floodlights in 1938, added to their illustrious past. Arsenal had a significant golden age in the 1930s. Herbert Chapman led the club to accomplish accomplishments that had never been done before. Their use of the WM formation as an example of tactical innovations changed how football was played. This tactical shift made it possible for both dynamic offensive play and a strong defensive framework. The victories Arsenal had at this period were evidence of Chapman's strategy's efficacy. When Arsenal became the first team to win the league with floodlights in 1938, it was a historic event. Football stadiums had just lately begun to use floodlights. Thus, Arsenal's accomplishments demonstrated both its versatility and its domination in the rapidly changing sport. After the war, Arsenal continued to have success under the guidance of managers like Tom Whittaker and subsequently Bertie Mee. Arsenal won the Intercities Fairs Cup in 1970, which served as a prelude to the UEFA Cup and the later UEFA Europa League. This triumph on the international scene served as evidence of Arsenal's dominance in European play. When Arsenal won both the league and FA Cup in 1970-71, it was a watershed year in the club's history. The crew worked really hard and consistently under Bertie Mee's direction. With this historic double, Arsenal reached a new level of domestic dominance and cemented their position as one of the premier clubs in English football. When Arsène Wenger was hired as manager in 1996, the club's trajectory underwent yet another big change. Arsenal entered a new era of success during Wenger's reign, and he had a significant effect on the team. Wenger, who is renowned for his cutting-edge strategies and focus on youth development, changed the way Arsenal played and approached the game. During Wenger's tenure, one of the most memorable events was the 2003-2004 Premier League season, during which Arsenal were undefeated and gained the moniker the Invincibles. This incredible accomplishment demonstrated Arsenal's supremacy and their capacity for elite competition. Talented players like Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Vieira, and Thierry Henry, who went on to become club legends, also flourished under Wenger's tenure. The advent of these elite players and Wenger's technical prowess combined to make Arsenal a dominant force in English and European football. Arsenal's transition from the Great Depression to the present day is characterized by a long history of achievement, creativity, and change. The club has cemented its status as one of England's most illustrious and prosperous football clubs, with its ability to adjust to the ever-changing football scene, as well as its visionary managers and legendary players. And that was the history of the legendary Arsenal Football Club, perhaps the most legendary known up till today. What do you think about the club? Tell us in the comments down below. Make sure to check out our other content, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!